Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Passive Money. I'm Kirby. That's Alex. That way. Yeah, that's Alex. Today, we're going to talk about not being fooled by flippers. Not being fooled by flippers. Please don't send hate mail, or I'm not here to talk bad about the game of flipping. I'm not here to talk about the game of flipping. I'm just talking about don't be fooled by flippers if you're on an OC or if you're buying a flip as an investment. And we'll explain why in the video. Alex, take it.
All right, yeah. So Kirby and I had looked at a couple properties, and we're seeing this a lot, like especially in the Florida market, where a lot of the old Florida homes built in the 40s, 50s, 60s have that old vinyl style or that old what is it called, bungalow style, and we're seeing like a lot of these properties get fully renovated, where it looks like you step in and it's like you're 2045, like a whole
Right.
new year. And so everything looks great, brand new flooring, marble countertops, everything's white, gray, all the modern look.
Right.
And looking at the length of how long it took for them to buy it and sell it between that time, if it is a flip, is it months? Is it weeks? Is it years for them to remodel that house before they flip it? And if it's a shorter time span, how much detail did they put into actually making sure the property is upkept, that there's no leaks, electrical is good, plumbing is good, and things like that. Now, I know you were walking me through this on like those are things that I need to look out for, and it's understandable, especially having bought a brand new home. Within the first week of living in it, I had noticed issues, like I mentioned to you, where the door that led to the garage had just fell off the hinges, and it's because of the
Right.
screws that they used. It wasn't The screws that they used weren't long or strong enough to support the weight of the door, and it just ripped off the ripped off of the hinges. And a couple other things had happened too. But you really, you know, walking into the house, seeing a brand new house looks great. Especially seeing a remodeled house. But when you're living in it, it's a whole different experience, and you start to really see like just little things happen at once, little chips or little things that you wouldn't have noticed at during the walkthrough. And then
Right.
things that builders mistakes that builders make, builders or people that are going in to make remodels, they're not perfect, they're human beings. It's definitely, I would say it's definitely an art for them to do things like that. But they're still bound to make mistakes.
Right. And me, as a person that had a house totally remodeled while I was still living in it, contractor, like you said, are people. They do the job. But remember, especially flippers that usually use contractors, they put the place together to look good. Some go more in depth and make sure everything is functioning properly. But for the most part, they are used to doing step by step. Like, let's say plumbing, you put PVC plumbing in there, having the concrete in there, making sure all the joints are locked and things like that. But you really don't know if you're not 100% sure that they're all locked in, concreted together and working, unless you're running water through there and no leaks are coming out. With the property that we seen, from the time that they bought to the time they put it up for sale, it was about 2 months. The original property was in the 1940s, I believe.
Yeah.
1940s, am I right? 1940s. So in that time, so my question is, in that time, and it's an older style home, so all the piping is up underneath the house. Did they, in the 1940s, they were still using lead pipe? Did they remove the lead piping? Did they repipe the house? Did they run functions checks on everything? Like the house that you had built, it was contractors that put it together. And then as a human, they didn't use the screws that was for the door. They used some short screws, and then it came apart. But the thing is, with you, as having a builder, you have a warranty that they got to come back and fix it. But if you do a walkthrough of a house, miss some point, and then you buy the house and then it's done, and then stuff start falling apart, then it's on you as a buyer to have to fix them. Like in that same house. So let's say all the piping is up underneath the house. Now you saw the flooring. The flooring was immaculate, and they, put the vinyl plank flooring down and all that stuff. But let's say they did repipe the house, but they didn't secure all the facets and the elbows and the junctions together. And then you start running gallons and gallons of water in there, and then it's leaking like a sieve. You got to tear up that floor that you already paid for. You got to tear up that floor to fix the pipes and then put the floor back. But that's cost you as a buyer have. And the shorter the flip, the more mistakes that can be made. Because we looked at another property, and the guy, I'm just gonna say guy, because I believe it was a gentleman that had it up for sale by owner. But they took that flip from beginning to end was like what, a 4 years?
It was like 5. They bought it in what, 2014? So I think
Right.
even longer. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So for that one, they took their time, and the big question mark for that 2-month flip, and just knowing Florida, knowing how much construction work is being done in the area, and the stuff that they say that they've done, getting permits would have took at least 2 months. So now my question is, did they get permits for the stuff that they did? Is it up to code? Me with the layman's eye will know. Of course, you'll still get an inspection and stuff like that, but it's still stuff that the inspectors miss. And then because the inspector ain't gonna sit there and run gallons of water and be flushing the toilet 15 times to see if everything is, tightened up and stuff like that. But those are the things that you don't notice until you move in. Just like you, when you built your home, you didn't notice. The door falling off the hinge. See what I'm saying? So those are the headaches and stuff you got to look out for when people flip these homes. You got to be very thorough and get a line by line item of what's done and what possibly still need to be done. In that case, I don't believe in 2 months that they got permits to repipe and rechange the windows and roof and all that. It's just because there's so much construction work going around. The city's not moving that fast to get permits, do the rebuild, and they did the rebuild in 2 months when, according to the description, they damn near built the whole house. So that's something that I believe is going to be headaches. And you talk to people that's in your family that work in construction, and you told them the timeline from buy to rebuild to put it up for sale. And what did he say?
He just went, no. Like not
no.
Yeah. And then the second question he asked was, when was the house made? And I said in the 40s. He said, no, the pipes are going to be different, and if they didn't change the pipes, you're going to have to rip up the whole floor. The same thing.
Exactly. So and again, this video is not to bash the flippers. It's just for the buyers that's buying properties that have been flipped. And if you don't believe me, the highest end and most well-known flippers on HGTV and stuff like that, and I'm not trying to talk bad about HGTV or nothing like that, but look at these people that you see online that's great flippers on these home channels, and just Google nightmare stories from flips from the big names in the industry, and you will see articles upon articles of people that was very dissatisfied with their property after the show was done and the flip was completed.
With all that being said, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the notification bell.
Do what's behind you. Do what's behind you. Click the subscribe button.
Do what's behind me. And share with all your friends and family. We'll see you guys in the next video.